Hey, what is up, everybody? Chase here, back again, bringing you some MMA content with my friend, writer of MMA Sucker, Alan Sturk. Alan, how's it going?
Very good, man. Super pumped for this card on Saturday.
Yeah, we got UFC 164, Henderson versus Pettis 2, a rematch from their classic at the final ever WEC show. And if you guys haven't seen that fight yet, I'm pretty sure UFC may have uploaded it as a free fight by now. So just look it up online. Definitely worth a watch. Great fight between these two. Now we get the second encounter. This is an exciting main event. Do you agree, Alan? Are you excited for this main event?
Oh, who couldn't be? Everyone's wanted to see this fight for, I say, a few years now, and
Yeah.
everyone wants to see Ben Henderson be tested because, as we know, he's had a few close decisions here and there, and they want to. I'm not sure if he's the bad guy exactly, but it's safe to say Pettis has really built himself up as a true contender.
Yeah, so let's get started with this card. Notable names on the undercard, as me and Alan like to do. We have Jamie Varner versus Glyson Tebow, isn't it? Tebow? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, I think so. Don't worry about it.
That's a noble fight.
Varner's so on and off. Sometimes I forget he's even in the company. To be honest, I know he was a big deal at one point, but then it's like I don't know. He's on and off.
I totally agree with you there. Varner, it's really hard to see what he's going to do. I don't expect him to win this fight, but hey, all the preliminary card fights are on Fox Sports 1 along with the main cards most of the time. So, yeah, Fox Sports 1, go check it out. Dana White's new home. But now time to talk about the main card. Featherweight Eric Koch probably looking at a contendership fight over here, taking on Dustin Poirier. So, this is Eric Koch's fight to lose for me. I feel this is a fight Eric Koch, if he loses this fight, he can kiss goodbye his featherweight championship shot. Even though he's coming off a loss, I feel like he is more of the favored if he wins this fight in an impressive fashion, that he would get the title shot for, Jose Aldo's. Well, both guys are coming off losses, so.
It's just my issue with Coach is that he hasn't really been active, while Poirier's been fighting some of the best featherweights in the world. He's fought Zom, he's fought Swanson, and they're both pretty competitive. So, yeah, Coach should win this fight. But at the same time, they're very similar, but I don't know. To me, Coach, there's something off about him. And maybe it's he hasn't fought, but to me, he just looks slow in that Lama's fight. He didn't look comfortable. Lama just completely, his explosiveness just completely overpowered him. So I don't know. If it goes to the ground, I don't think Coach will get submit because his ground submission defense is really good. But
Yeah.
this is for me. This is my actually toughest fight to pick. I'm still backing.
Yeah, Poirier's excellent on the ground, and if he can get on top of Eric Koch, work a little bit, get some good transitions, I feel he needs to catch him early. Like, if he wants to try to go for a submission, he needs to try to catch him early because that's when you're not sweaty. It's easier to get the grips and to hold on tight enough. That's when Poirier can really do some damage onto Eric Koch. But I feel Koch could win this fight. Maybe a decision in the third round, UD decision.
I'm leaning actually towards Poirier more, but I don't think he's gonna get the finish. For some reason, I just think he's due for a win. It's tough to give an actual explanation, but I think he actually might outstrike Coach, which sounds surprising, I know, but I think he's a more quicker fighter.
All right, that's not bad to say, but oh god, I was just laughing at this next fight. Heavyweight battle between Ben Rothwell taking on Brandon the Truth Vera. Oh,
The
he's
obscure truth there.
he's coming back to heavyweight now.
Yeah, the funny thing is, this is one of there was any sure picks on the card besides the next fight, which we'll talk about obviously. I actually really like Brandon Vera in this fight.
I don't know. Ben Rothwell's a tough dude.
I know, but Roth always gasses out. I feel like, and I feel
Oh,
like
okay.
Bear's just gonna, point strike. I expect Bear's gonna land those, vicious leg kicks, and Rothwell's gonna struggle to move. I don't think Bear can finish him, but
Maybe if he catches him lucky, because Rothwell always on the ground leaves his neck wide open, and he has terrible ass ground defense. He can't. I don't think he needs to strike with Rothwell because that's going to end a bad day for Brandon Vera.
that's true. But I don't think Bear can actually take him down. I don't think he has the strength to him because Rothwell's a big dude.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to see how much Rothwell weighs Bear.
Yeah, God, it's so weird that he's coming back to heavyweight. I was like, what? Brandon Vera's on this card? I had to. I didn't know he was on this card, but yeah, I could actually see Vera coming back up. I don't think he's ever going to get a heavyweight title shot soon. Who knows? We've seen magical runs happen in MMA before. Maybe this is his magical moment.
He's not Mark Hunt.
He's not Mark Hunt.
Mark Hunt's the only man with the magical run. But to me, it was just weird because Vera, he was getting overpowered in the 205 division. Now he wants to go to the heavyweights. It's like, I don't know what he's going to do. If he starts fighting guys that have more flag, like if he fights someone like Brandon Schwab or even Matt Mitrione, it's like he's going to get overpowered. And these guys are very athletic too. They're not like flat foot like Raw.
He's 6'3". I don't know his body mass index number. And if I knew it, I would say that there was no way in hell this motherfucker could probably cut down to 185 because I don't know. He's only 6'3", so he would be able to. It'd be a hard cut for him. So I don't know. Maybe this was this fight made last minute or like in a month?
This was like 2 months ago.
2 months ago? Shit. Then good luck, Brandon Vera. I'll choose Brandon Vera just for upset value.
If he loses, man, you get cut.
You can't cut the truth. He's Brandon Vera.
They couldn't cut John Fitch.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I always use that example now.
If they're not fucking winning fights, we're going to have to fucking cut them. It's fucking that simple. All right, Dana, whatever you say, buddy. But
Barry's still in the
UFC. Another guy that could probably get cut if he loses his next fight, Clay Guida. He's taking on Chad Money Mendez.
I don't know if Guida's going to cut if he loses because Mendez has been on a tear. I think Guida will have to go, stoop to some lows to get cut.
Well, okay, if this is another boring Clay Guida appearance, if this is another Clay Guida like where he jumps around and does nothing, don't you think?
He'll go back to prelims if anything. Because believe it or not, he was on prelims on the I think Chicago card. He fought Hatsu Aoki. That was the January card. He was the main event of the prelims, so Dana's not putting up his shit.
All right. So I
think Mendez will force him to fight. That's why I keep thinking because Mendez, he's very active. He's always in your face. I think there's no way Guida could avoid this.
Yeah, because Clay Guida, I mean, he used to be that one guy where you wanted to get your friends into MMA, and you were like, you know what, you got to watch a Clay Guida fight. And
show that fight against Diego Sanchez.
Oh God, that fight was just insane. That whole Ultimate Fight Night card was one of the best of all time. It's an amazing card. Dana had to give 4 Fight of the Nights to people. That's how amazing that card was. 4 Fight of the Nights given that night. Jesus, such a great card. That whole card. If you guys can't watch that whole event, go find a way to because that event was awesome. I can't remember what fight night it was, but it was a fucking good one. Chris Lytle fight on that card. Oh my God, such an amazing card. But
who do you got?
I got Chad Mendez winning by guillotine choke in the second round.
He's going to submit him?
Yes, he's going to submit Guida. Guida can get caught in submissions, and I feel Chad Mendez, he will be one of the few people to stop Clay Guida in the UFC. I believe there's only like 1, maybe 2 people who have done such a thing. So
Guida has that iron chin, but yeah, Kenny Florian actually subbed him that one time.
Yeah, it's Kenny Florian. And there was another guy, I think it was maybe Tyson Griffin. I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, no, Roger Huerta.
Yeah, Roger Huerta. There we go. Roger Huerta.
Fight of the year in 2007. Wow.
Yeah, great fucking fight.
Tyson beat him actually by split decision.
Okay, because I remember Tyson Griffin, I think he tried a submission, but he didn't tap. But Roger Huerta, it'll put him in great company, Kenny Florian and Roger Huerta. So, I think he will win second round via alpha male guillotine. And there we go. Chad Mendez will be making his claim for the featherweight title after Frankie Edgar and Cub Swanson fight it out.
I got Mendez too. This is my sure pick. I just can't see Guida win this. Guida would have to make this an ugly wrestling match to even have a shot. And Mendez, he's one of the best there too. So it's gonna be really hard to see Guida win. But it's just funny. I saw the pre-fight, like hype video, and Guida's like, man, Chad Mendez never fought somebody like me. He's never fought somebody like me. I move around. He can't handle me. Just something.
It's
cool. Chad Mendez up against Jose Aldo. Are you nuts? She took the fight to Aldo, which was impressive before he got KO'd. But I think Mendez by decision.
Up next, if this was 2006, this fight would actually be the main event of a pay-per-view, but it's 2013. Frank Mir, former UFC heavyweight champion, is taking on pro wrestler and MMA legend Josh Barnett.
Pro wrestler.
He is a pro wrestler, you know.
Yeah, that's very true. Also, the man that ended Affliction.
Yeah, yeah.
Josh, I know it's a cheap joke. I really like Josh Barnett, but if anyone wants to count the video, how funny is it? You know, they talk about and they show a billion times. I think they had show at least 6 times of him KOing Couture, and they don't explain why he lost the title. It's just
he's a former UFC heavyweight champion. Just deal with it. Fuck Randy Couture.
It's just weird. It's like they're showing him KOing Couture. They're showing how he's like one of the best, and then they don't explain. They just go, he's fought on various organizations.
See that's what I like what the UFC can do. Like, if you know, and Josh Barnett doesn't suck, but they do this for people who don't deserve title shots, aka certain people that somehow get title shots. They try to hide the fact that they lost either the first fight, unless it's like a big time match like Silva versus Sonnen 2. Like, they try to like hide other facts. Like the Bigfoot and Velasquez fight, they just said, oh yeah, Kane beat Bigfoot the first time in a close fight. The fight was not even fucking close. What the hell are you talking about? So, you know, they do a good job hiding some facts. Like, us fans know it was some steroid issues being used. But, I don't know, Josh Barnett, he has a tough fight. Because Frank Mir, I'm pretty sure he wasn't happy with his shitty performance against DC. And I'm pretty sure he wants to have a big win here. And this could be his big win against Josh Barnett. Well, it won't be a huge win. It's not like Frank Mir will get another world title shot. But he'll definitely be in discussion because Dana will definitely try to separate Kane and JDS for much more long periods of time after their third encounter.
I think the big story going into this fight is that Barnett's always confident, and I think his overconfidence could actually cost him.
Yeah.
You know, unlike DC, you know Barnett's going to take Mir to the ground because Barnett thinks he can tap anybody. You know, going to the ground with Mir could be deadly. Go ask Nogueira about that. You know, so. I know Barnett is, you know, he can obviously ground Mir and control him, but I don't see how he could finish Mir. To me, he's going to have to only go for a decision. And this is another tough fight. I'm leaning towards Mir just because I think Mir's going to come in better shape. And I think Barnett might not take him lightly, but I think Barnett's a little too overconfident for this one. Yeah. And Barnett's beaten some stiffs over the years. I think this is a big step up in competition. I know he's fought Cormier, but this isn't Brett Rogers or Carataro, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree with you there. Because, like, Josh Barnett, he did the same thing with DC. He underestimated DC. He's like, no, DC can't strike with me. DC can't handle me. And what did DC do? He made you look like an idiot. you look so bad against Daniel Cormier. That's the thing. Like, I think Frank Mir can even outstrike Josh Barnett in this situation.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
My biggest fear... My biggest fear for this fight is this is going to become like Crow Cop versus Mir.
Ooh. Oh, God. You really think so? You don't think Barnett will just mix in a takedown?
Well, there's going to be some groundwork, but it's going to be like that groundwork where they lay on top of each other, do those little hammer fists that don't hurt you, just lay there, and then you hear Herb Dean going, action! Action!
I hope he refs that fight. Or, oh, God, if it's Evil V, you will get like 10 seconds. They're like, all right, break. You ever see Evil V? He always breaks up, which is good and bad. You know, sometimes he gets it right. But I don't know if you remember. You remember when Barnett, I remember he fought, it was Caratano, and he had him at ground and pound. And it was like some of the weakest punch I've ever seen. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know about Barnett's cardio. I know everyone shits on Mir's cardio, but, you know, making the move at Jackson's gym, I think, has really helped him. You know, I thought he actually looked like he stayed in it against Cormier. So I just think Barnett, unless he finishes it early and somehow submits Mir or even hits him with the ground pound, I just can't see him winning this fight. I actually really like Mir in this fight.
Yeah, same here. I like Mir in this fight just because of Mir's groundwork, just because of Mir's... I feel Mir has some of the most underrated striking. He's not the best striker in UFC history, but he has some underrated striking. Like, his striking is very underrated.
You know, also, I like how he's starting to use kicks. Obviously, you saw some of that with Cormier fight. Barnett, when do you really see him using kicks?
Never. Go look at the fight. Who was he facing? The Russian dude that Fedor just beat the fuck out of in his last fight. I can't remember what's his name.
Wasn't it Caratano?
No, it was someone else. He's a legend in the sport. I should know his name. It's just been a while. You get all these great heavyweights and you get them confused. God, I'm trying to remember his name.
Oh,
Pedro Hizzo. Pedro Hizzo.
Pedro Henderson.
Just look at the Pedro Hizzo fight and how Barnett should have kicked Pedro's legs at all, but all he decided to do was just kind of look at Pedro Hizzo in a weird way. He should have ended that fight a long time ago, but he didn't.
That was an affliction, right?
No, that which one? No, that was an old school UFC fight.
Oh, that was an old school.
Old school, like when UFC still had like fucking gray ass cameras where you can't really see shit. So it was an old school fight. Like Josh Barnett had his old rock, and he should have finished it, but he did not even use kicks to like even weaken Hizzle's base. He was just trying to punch him, and that's another thing. Like people go, why do they kick sometimes? Like Demetrius Johnson does this a lot, where he rocks someone and he kicks them. It's because he's trying to make them lose their base, so that way like they can't counter react because adrenaline. Okay, when someone's getting knocked the fuck out, they have all this adrenaline. If they have that punch coming at you, pretty sure you're going to get knocked out.
And don't get me wrong, Barnett can really win this fight though. Like, I'm not saying he's totally out of his fight. Absolutely not. He can smash me for all I know. Who knows? But I just think Mir now making it with the Jacksons is actually going to really help Mir. And I just think Josh is kind of full of himself in a way.
He's always full of himself. Josh Mir. Not Josh Barnett. He always see what I like about Josh Barnett. Josh Barnett's like the old school Chael Sonnen, but he never had the mouth like Chael Sonnen had. He's a great promo cutter though.
He tries to. I think Chael's much more natural.
Yeah, Chael's much more natural when it comes down to being on the microphone and speaking. While Josh Barnett's like, "Hey, get by my fight, motherfuckers." It's like, okay, Josh, we'll do it. Just because we like you.
They do Barnett versus like O'Brien.
Oh my God! You know how much awesome promos that would be. I already saw how the fight was gonna go, Ariel. I had a lot of horses this weekend, and yeah, I'm ready to take on Josh Barnett. There'd be a lot of punching, kicking, not respecting our opponent's stand-up.
We gotta talk about Fox. We'll talk about it soon. But is it main event time?
Yeah, main event time between Anthony Pettis and Benson Henderson. Now, a lot of you guys that did not see the first fight, the UFC this is another example how the UFC likes to hide bullshit. The UFC is trying to sell the Showtime kick is what ended Benson's title reign. First of all, people, he did not get knocked out by that. If you guys watch the rest of the fucking fight, you would see Benson came back and he almost won back the points. The Showtime kick was just amazing that the judges gave him the fight. Someone wrote an article, I can't remember who, that the Showtime kick is one of the most overexposed things in MMA. And it is. It is. It's one of the most overexposed things in MMA because they try to make it seem like that's what ended the title reign. Like he got knocked out from that. He didn't get knocked out from it. He just got stunned for a little bit. Now, this fight right here, this is a huge fight for Benson Henderson because Pettis is a bad matchup for him. Pettis is not a favorable matchup. If Benson takes Pettis to the ground, he may have to turn it to GSP in this fight. He may have to because he does not want to stand with Pettis, deal with Pettis' flippy kick shit, spinning shit, as Nick Diaz would say. Nick Diaz wouldn't even want to fight Anthony Pettis because he does too much spinning shit. So he needs to take it to the ground. He needs to be and Nick Diaz wouldn't appreciate the takedowns. He's not a hitter. He's not a fighter. So Benson Henderson really just needs to take this to the ground, take it slow. Pettis' ground back defense is not the strongest. I mean, look at what happened to the Quay Guida fight. Like, oh my goodness, you can tell that's a tape you should be watching because everyone's like, all right, we're gonna stand and bang with Pettis. Yeah, standing and banging with Pettis, you might get a fight of the night reward, but ultimately, in this sport of the UFC, you want to win. You don't want to just be settled with these fight of the nights and stuff. Yeah, cool. The fans like you. Yeah, you're making extra money. But other than that, I'm just saying, it's like, you want to win. It's all about that W column. Yeah, you may be getting paid extra, but those winners, they're getting more sponsorships than you. They're getting all these perks from the UFC. They get title opportunities, which means you're face on a billboard for a title. It's all about winning. And that's the thing. Benson Henderson, yeah, he's not the flashiest world champion. Yeah, he may not be liked because he's kind of boring in his title fights. But he's only focusing about the W. Because when you hold that belt, it's more money, more recognition, more mainstream media attention. And that's the thing. So A lot of Pettis' opponents, like Donald Cerrone and people that he beat, and Joe Lozon, they all wanted just that fight of the night bonus. But Benson Henderson, I don't think he gives a shit. I think he's just like, I want to erase that Pettis loss. I want to move on forward. I'm going to try to get the W, and I think we're going to see round 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, Benson Henderson winning via UD.
I've been talking to you a lot about this fight, and I've been really on the Pettis hype train, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember we were talking about this, and you bring up, not just that his takedown offense is shaky at best, but Henderson, he just uses his size to dominate everybody.
Yeah.
I know Melendez swung in there pretty well. I know Frankie also did too, but that's the issue with these fights. Benson's just bigger than everybody, and I thought maybe Gray Maynard would have beaten TJ Grant. Maybe Maynard would have lasted against Henderson.
I think Maynard is one of the few. Maynard, TJ Grant, and the motherfucker at Bellator Mike Chandler are the only 3 people that can beat Benson Henderson.
What about Josh Thompson? That's one other guy.
Josh the Punk? Maybe this was 5 years ago. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I like you, Josh Thompson. I'm glad you're back, but 5 years ago, hell yeah, you were legit 5 years ago.
I just think that's the difference these days with Benson. He's so big now, and he's very smart too. Like, he'll stand with you, but he'll throw some light kicks, he'll jab, but then boom, double leg. He'll just take you down and try to ground pound. And Pettis is very good off his back. I don't think anyone can deny that, but I just think it's the size differential, and I don't know why people shit on Benson striking so much. To me, he's always been pretty good at striking.
Yeah.
He did to Nate Diaz, just mind blowing.
Oh yeah, when he outstruck Nate Diaz, I was surprised because someone asked me like, "Oh, who do you give the striking advantage to?" And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm giving it to Nate Diaz. Like I said, I get ground and striking advantage to Nate Diaz, and that's where when I saw that fight, I was like, oh my god, Benson Henderson can actually strike pretty well. I mean, he's not better than Gilbert. You cannot make me fucking say he's better than El Nino. Okay, I'll defend Gilbert to the day I die. Call me a nut hugger, call me whatever, but El Nino for lightweight champion of the world. I think El Nino also has a chance of beating Benson, but I feel that if he tries to go point for point, tick for tack, he can't beat him. He has to go El Nino crush mode where he just goes crazy, where he has to just go crazy and beat the shit out of them. But yeah.
I do like Henderson by decision. I think if it goes to decision, I just can't see Pettis winning this. Although, how funny it would be if Pettis knows he's losing and goes for a showtime kick at the end, and Benson just catches him and just like spine busters him. It's just like, I already seen this shit already. I think people, because Pettis' coach, Dude Rufus, said Henderson's striking has actually gotten worse since the WC days.
Really?
I'm like, what? I'm like, did you not see it? I thought his fight with Clay Guida, even the striking looked good. And, Guida, he brawls a lot and he kind of makes you look bad. But even then, I thought Henderson looked good. And, the Jim Miller fight, I didn't get that. I think Benson's starting to prove that he's one of the best in the world. I think his popularity is so big because he's had so many title defenses. And I think he's close to breaking BJ Penn's record. So I think Benson's starting to become a pretty big deal, despite his lack of personality, honestly.
I'm trying to think, like, I don't know. Benson's striking hasn't gone down. I mean, because in WEC, there was really no elite strikers. Because, like, pretty much everyone that was an elite striker was in the welterweight division, like Condence and all those other guys. And then they went to the UFC because the UFC sucked up the welterweight division there. So,
I don't consider Cerrone a elite
striker. Cerrone's not an elite striker. Like, yeah.
Sorry.
His striking hasn't gone down. I think they're just saying that to promote the fight, just like how Chris Weidman's camp is like all of a sudden like Anderson Silva shouldn't fight because of the concussion. He's 38 years old and all that other stuff. They're helping promote the fight and mentioning that Silva's old. Like, okay, Chris Weidman's camp, calm down a little bit. I get it. Your boy won the UFC middleweight title. But let him beat Anderson when Anderson actually gives a shit to see if he's actually ready for it. I like Chris Weidman, but I don't think he could even beat Vitor. Vitor has Jesus. He has everything. So
yes, TRT. How much do you love that Vitor versus Henderson fight?
Oh, I love that fight.
You and your major love for Dan Henderson.
The TRT battle begins.
I think it's in Brazil too, but do you think like the Brazilians would actually boo Henderson? They probably would.
I don't know, but all I know is that both him and Vitor are gonna see how much testosterone levels they can pump into their bodies.
I'm trying to find that card. If any other fights have been announced, but no, it's just that. It's just that card.
Vitor going to beat that Henderson. Henderson no respect nothing. He doesn't respect me. He don't respect Brazil. I respect everything. I have Jesus. That's Vitor for you. But for this Pettis fight, I feel like we're gonna get 5 more rounds of these fuckers beating each other up. I feel Benson will win. I feel that we're going to get a third fight down the road. Not in anything in the near future, but down the road there'll be a third fight. And it'll be a good trilogy for these guys' careers. It won't be one of the best trilogies ever, but it'll be a good trilogy. It depends on how the fights turn out. Because the first fight, it was a good fight. So if this is another good fight, it'll be a good trilogy if Benson wins, that is.
Do you think the trilogy is lacking just because there's not a lot of smack talk? Both guys are just,
No, that doesn't make a trilogy. It helps. It helps it for mainstream wise, but if you're just looking at MMA wise, like just sport wise of trilogies, like like for example in football, does it for Brady versus Manning, does it not help where Brady and Manning just don't smack talk each other? Who cares?
Oh,
like
that's a very good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, like football wise, it's still a great rivalry. Like MMA wise, like Cain Velasquez and Junior Dos Santos, is that a good trilogy? Yeah, it's a good trilogy MMA wise, but mainstream wise, it's when you're putting it up there with other great UFC trilogies like GSP versus Matt Hughes, and then you have Chuck Liddell versus Randy Couture. Those trilogies, mainstream wise, are bigger than what you would say Cain Velasquez or JDS.
Well, if there's a trilogy between Pettis and Henderson, Dan White's calling the best trilogy of all time.
Oh, yeah. Anything with Randy Couture. But I don't know, because GSP versus Matt Hughes, it's very underrated of a trilogy.
Ooh, that's a good point.
It's very underrated because, first fight, GSP tapped out with, 1 second left? Like, holy shit, that was crazy. And then afterwards, the second fight, GSP dominated. And then the third fight, obviously, led up to that great line. I am not impressed with your performance. So,
dude, I see that clip, man, and GSP looks like a 20-year-old kid compared to now. He just looks like a nice little humble kid. Now, he's starting to age a little bit.
Yeah, he is definitely up there in age.
I blame Nick Diaz for the stress. Nick Diaz stressed him out.
Yeah, so what, you think Nick Diaz made the darkness come out, so that's why GSP looks older?
Yeah, with all those steroid claims and, forcing George to say he doesn't know what the hell Twitter is. Overall, we'll talk about some other MMA stuff, but overall, you really excited for this?
Oh, yeah, this is going to be a good pay-per-view. This is something that I can't wait to watch. The first couple fights, they're fights that, like, if you miss it, like, who knows? They could surprise me, but the first couple fights are not.
That's a great opener, just saying.
Yeah, it's just like the first couple fights, they're good, standard pay-per-view fights. Then the rest of the main card solid. I think this is the main card. I always say UFC should push their main cards to have 6 or 7 fights, though, nowadays. I feel like 6 or 7 fights on the main card is good enough, Keeps the pay-per-view time running longer, more money for you. That's what I think, at least.
Well, speaking of, 6-fight main cards, we want to talk about the Boston card. I know it's a few weeks past, people, but we should talk a little about this. We should talk about the best promo man in MMA, Chael Sonnen. We should talk about Overeem's glass chin.
Sure, no respect nothing, Alan. He no respect nothing. I gotta go fight him again. After I beat the Chris Weidman, I want Chael. Me and Chael for the 3rd time. Let's do this. All right, Anderson, settle down.
Just look at this. Now, we haven't really talked about this a lot. I know he's out for 10 months. I think towards ACL. But what's your take on the whole Conor McGregor run, or I don't know what word you want to use, but man, the hype for him. Honestly, he won. He beat Max Holloway. But what do you think about Conor McGregor?
He's hilarious.
Yeah, he was pretty great.
He was trying. Michael McDonald was trying his hardest not to laugh his ass off sitting next to him at the thing. He's like, man, I want to finish the fight. This is bullshit. I don't come here just to fucking dance around and shit. I'm gonna finish, and it's hilarious. He's a good fighter. I don't see him. I see him getting a title shot just because he's exciting, but I don't see him becoming champion.
Well, he's got some more work to him. Like I said, he's gonna be out for I think 9 months or so. So it sucks.
He'll be back for the Ireland card, so it's fine.
Yeah, true. So speaking of Michael McDonald, Another impressive performance,
Yep.
submitting Brad Pickett. You know, a lot of people are talking about him facing Faber next. What do you think about that fight? I would love to see it.
These two want to fight each other. They seem excited to fight each other. So let's do it. Book it. Let's go.
Because I think McDonald could definitely test Faber on the ground. Like, I don't think any bantamweight has done recently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yuri had a chance to, but
Yeah,
he caught Faber when they were dry. Once they got all sweaty and shit, he couldn't do crap.
yeah, Yuri, man. Those first like 2.5 minutes, I was like, oh my god, what is going on here? And then that Faber just all Faber afterwards, which is, you know, it was kind of unfortunate because everyone wants to always see a competitive fight, but can't say I'm not surprised by it. Faber just looked like Faber as usual in non-title fights.
Yeah, exactly. Dominates like that. Who else is it? Isn't it also like Kenny Florian and a bunch of other guys? They look phenomenal in non-title fights, no matter who they're facing. But then they get to a title fight and they just choke.
Yeah, Kenny Florian, I would say, is a good example.
Because like he should have beaten Sean Shirk that one time, but then Sean Shirk's like steroids, motherfucker.
I'm trying to think of else. Well, Michael Bisping is the anti that. He failed at the number of contender fights.
Yeah, for all we know, Bisping could be like the best middleweight champion of all time.
But he can't even make it to the big one.
Yeah.
Thing is, on an interview I listened to recently, Bisping said he could have done the same thing Weidman did, which I don't think as far-fetched as you think it is, because to me, Van Silva's dancing like that. Bisping and his fist could catch him. I don't think he sounds that retarded. You know what I mean?
No, I totally agree. If Silva's doing that thing, like, I could imagine Bisping doing that where Bisping hits him with the right hook, and then Silva does his little dance, and then acting like he's hurt. I'm sorry. I laugh every time I'm a huge Silva fan, but I just think it's hilarious when he got knocked out like that. And then he's trying to grab Herb Dean's like he's like, no, the fight shouldn't be stopped.
Someone texted me this. People don't know we're doing this during the Fight Night 27, which I'm watching soon. But guys in attendance are for the showtime are Matt and Mark Hughes, Chris Lytle, Roy Hibbert, and CM Punk. That's a weird list.
Those are the famous people in attendance?
No, those are the famous people right now. We got a 7'3" giant center, Chris Lytle, who had a hell of a performance against Matt Serra in Indiana. I remember that card, and CM Punk, and also Matt Hughes. I can't forget, good old Matt Hughes.
Nothing will ever top Oscar De La Hoya. Nothing. That's a top 10 UFC moment. Oscar De La Hoya I'm sorry, if you guys don't watch boxing and know what type of character Oscar De La Hoya is, you won't understand. It's Oscar motherfucking De La Hoya. He is a fucking king, okay? He was probably wearing Ariana's pantyhose underneath his suit.
Oh, didn't you tweet that?
Yeah.
He said
that. Dana White bows down to Oscar De La Hoya. That's how golden Oscar De La is. And Brad Tavares, he won via decision against Robert McDaniel as we're doing this live.
Isn't his name Bubba or
who? Brad Tavares? Bubba?
Don't they call him Bubba McDaniel?
Yeah, Robert. Yeah, that's his nickname.
Anyway, back to the Joe Lauzon. Very disappointed. I thought it would be much more competitive. Not even just I thought Lauzon was gonna win, but Michael Johnson saved his job and looked fantastic.
Yeah, he looked really great, and he seems to have the right mindset. He's like, yeah. But the one thing that I hated, I don't know if you saw the post-fight interview, he's like, yeah, I didn't change anything in my training. It's just that I got more dedicated. It's like, oh, okay, that's a stupid answer. Like, just say you changed something in your training. Don't act like you just got dedicated all of a sudden. You don't wake up one morning and say, I'm dedicated. Like, obviously you changed something in your training. Don't just say, like, oh, yeah, I got dedicated now for some reason. Like, no. You changed something in your training. That's all you have to say.
He took down those on one point. I was like, whoa, look at this.
Yeah, well, Alan, what do you think? What is your thoughts about fighters just being frozen up? What are your thoughts about that? Where fighters show up and they just freeze like that. What are your thoughts on that?
Like Jake Ellenberger did.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times so far in some MMA events where fighters just froze up. They just don't do good.
I don't get that. To me, it's just like you have such a big opportunity, especially for Ellenberger. He beats McDonald. I think Ellenberger could very well make a claim to be the number one contender.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tough to explain. I understand maybe jitters where I know Lozon was fighting in his home state, whatever. But eventually, these guys are known for being finishers. Ellenberger is a finisher. Lozon is a finisher. What is the difference? We've seen Lozon with submissions before. Remember his one against Jamie Varner. And then we've seen Ellenberger knock out Jake Shields, Nate Marquardt. It's like, why do they have to freeze up? I know, I guess maybe you're not mentally there, but I don't know how to explain. Maybe you should ask Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan questions everything on sci-fi, but you mentioned McDonald. He's facing your boy, ruthless Robbie Lawler.
I kind of want to see Robbie Lawler fight the winner of Campman Condit, but I can't. At least Robbie Lawler is going to force Robbie.
Yeah, that's the truth. Robbie Lawler will be like, "Come on, bro, let's go, dude."
He's not freezing up, man. He's swinging like a bad man. And if he knocks out Rory, man, oh boy, the hype. Well, I think the hype train's kind of simmered down now, but then you'll just see people leaving the wagon, kind of like when Alistair Overeem lost to 2006.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there because, I hope Rory. First, dude's boring, man. I don't see anything interesting about this dude. He has a cool nickname. Like, you have the nickname Aries.
I thought it was a Canadian Psycho.
No, Rory McDonald.
Oh, they call him. I don't know. Some people call him the Canadian Psycho, which is.
Did he change it? Because his nickname is Aries.
I guess there's two. Who knows? People have multiple nicknames.
The Canadian Psycho. No, so he just stole Stephen Bonner's nickname and just put Canadian in front of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, he does. No, I think Rory's a cool guy, but something's missing. I think it's safe to say.
Yeah. There is something missing with that kid's head. He's a good fighter, but I just think that he's too afraid to challenge GSP.
Maybe something will come up eventually, but we're gonna have to wait and see. We'll see how he does in November. We'll see if GSP, what he does against Hendricks. But speaking of guys missing, I want to hear, what do you think about Raya Hall? I personally thought he won that fight. I know a lot of people didn't agree with me, but what did John Howard really do besides some takedowns?
I did not care who won that fight, either if it was David Lozow 2.0 or Pat Barry 2.0. Who cares?
Or the guy I'm trying to think, what fighter, I can't think of any, because whoa in the hell, what fighter high-fives a guy in the late third round?
Chris Lieben used to do that back in the old days.
Well, we love Chris Lieben.
Yeah, that's true. No shame for Chris Lieben on that show. He's undefeated. He's a true middleweight champion, Chris Weidman. You think that's the real belt you're holding? No. That's Chris Lieben's belt, you dumbass.
Oh, yeah, speaking of which, not to forget, we talked a lot about Josh Burnett, but Josh Burnett saying, he's still UFC champion or whatever.
Oh, really?
He's going through that shtick now.
If he could actually be entertaining with it and did what Chael did and buy a fake belt, I'll buy him. I'll buy it. Because I thought that was entertaining.
That's what people forget,
Wait, does the UFC do like what WWE and all those other places boxing does? They just let you keep the belt?
Yeah, Barnett, they showed, when he was on the MMA hour with the Ariel, Josh showed him his belt, and he's like, yeah, they were not taking, he's like, nobody's taking this away from me.
Okay, so I guess they just give people replica belts, I guess.
I guess. Well,
I didn't know that, because I wish what UFC does, but boxing does. Do you know what boxing does with their belt?
Sorry, no. I know they, guys like Floyd come out with like 20 belts, which is
what they do with the belts is they put pictures of all the people you beat on the belts.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they put pictures like Floyd on a couple of his belts has like a Toro Gotti, like all these people that he defended a belt against. So imagine Anderson Silva's belt, you just see it has all these pictures on it. Like you gotta admit that would be pretty cool, right? If they had like design, like just little stuff like that.
I like to see GSP's belt. You have Josh Koscheck's eye and then Diaz Stone's lost it there.
Then Diaz giving the middle finger for his picture.
He's Condit without a beard, so he looks like a 16-year-old. There's all these obscure pictures of just guys that he's beating. BJ Penn after the fight with Rory.
Or BJ Penn just gassed out. No, BJ Penn with Vaseline, holding Vaseline. Because BJ Penn's like, he cheated.
So I think one more loss, Araya probably gets cut.
Oh, yeah.
It's just crazy. This guy was getting so hyped earlier in the year, and now it's just like he might get cut.
Dana White's like, the dude's not a fucking fighter. So that's what he said.
Well, speaking of fighters, man, everyone's loving Matt Brown lately. Even though I know you caught the tweet that he has to stop stealing Nick Diaz's lines.
Yeah, don't be scared, homie. But I did like when he was all like, Mike Pyle is the best welterweight in the world. He's better than GSP. That was a good one. I will say.
He's better than Johnny Hendricks, better than Carlos Condit, better than Rory McDonald, better than Ellenberg, better all those guys. Mike Pyle.
Mike Pyle, he's the best.
I thought Mike Pyle was I thought Brown was going to win by decision. I thought Mike Pyle was going to
take it. We both said that, Matt Brown, even though he's on this KO streak, Mike Pyle, this dude's tough. He's not going to go down easy. And bam, just like that. Just like
29
that.
29 seconds.
So if Condit wins against Campman tonight, which we're both predicting, if you guys are just curious, we're both predicting Condit's going to win. Campman has not evolved at all since their first fight, and Condit has evolved and has fought tough competition levels. So, do you think if Condit wins, would this be a good matchup, Brown versus Condit?
Ooh, yeah, I would say so. Just because it hasn't been, a lot of the welterweights are booked up because the UFC 167, they're doing a lot of matches. There's Rory and obviously Lawler. I think Koscheck's fighting Tyron Woodley. Maya's facing Shields in October. There's not many free welterweights, and maybe they'll face with Ellenberger, but they like to match guys win with win.
Yeah. So
it could happen. Matt Brown definitely deserves a big time match. He well deserves it, but who knows? I hear Nate Diaz wants to go to 170, and I hear he's getting off his suspension too. So who knows? Maybe I'll match with Nate Diaz. I don't know. But no, I wouldn't. I'd definitely be all for Condit at this point. That'll be fight a year potential right there.
Yo, man, Carlos Condit, Matt Brown, Josh Koscheck, all these guys, they haven't faced anyone like me. No one faced anything like me. Roy McDonald, I want a rematch. I can beat your ass. Stockton 209, Cesar Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. That would actually be funny.
Diaz. Nate Diaz, man. I hope he comes back. He needs to fight one more.
Is there any report why Nick Diaz versus Lyoto Machida did not happen?
I don't know if Nick didn't agree to it or if they just said, no, screw it.
Because you gotta admit, that would have.
Machida versus Tim Kenny makes 0 sense either, so I don't know.
No, but you gotta admit, it would have just been hilarious after the fight when Lyoto does his usual shit. Nick's like, this guy ain't a fighter, dude. Like, he all running and shit, man. He ain't a fighter. Like, I think I can beat you. Man. I want Anderson Silva. I want GSP. Give me Frankie Edgar. I'll take him on, homie. I mean, no one told me anything, dude. No one ever asked me about my life, dude. Like, you got it, man. It would have been funny after he lost because Nick Diaz just goes crazy on the microphone.
I know, man. It's crazy. That's why we need more Nick Diaz, but who knows what's his situation. But yeah, Matt Brown, this guy's a wrecking machine. Yeah, you gotta give him a top 10 guy. But now we talked about Araya. We got the 2 other fights left, and I've been waiting to hear your opinion about the whole Brown Overeem fight. I know we talked a little bit about this, but dude, we have Alistar. This guy just absolutely destroyed. He's just laying shots all around, knees to the body on Brown. It kind of reminded me of Shane Carwin versus Brock Lesnar, where Alistar was hitting Brown, and then it's just like Shane Carwin, he gasses out, but he doesn't even get through a round. He just once again, I thought Overeem gassed out, and I don't know if it's his fighting stance, but he just leaves his chin out far too much. And Travis Brown, man, big name, even though I did think it came off kind of fluky, but whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious because I said, dude, what if Travis Brown just Anderson Silva's Alistair, and then later on when he got hit and Alistair just felt like, seriously, it was like slow mo. It was like when you knock down a tree, it's like timber. It was like boom, and Alistair was just down, and Travis Brownie just kicked the shit out of it. And that illegal knee that ref didn't call. Oh god, I thought
like Kamasaki, but how did he miss that?
I think that Mr. Alistair Overeem was the favorite to win that fight.
I don't think we could deny that. I don't know. Like, I'm happy there's a new up and comer in the heavyweight division because I think the heavyweight division needs young talent. I know Stipe Miocic he came off an impressive win, but he still has a lot of work to do. And it's just nice to see some young guys come up like Travis Brown. It's cool that he won, but it's just the way he won. Like, this guy was just getting punished the whole fight, and then he started getting a little confident, and then boom, front kick, and it's like, Alistair, you let us down again.
I'm sorry that I let you down. I'll be back better than ever. I'm gonna eat more bacon, some more horses, and I'll be back. I'll be back. Trust me.
I'm telling you, man, they're gonna put Mark Hunt against Overeem, and Overeem's gonna get knocked out, and Overeem's gonna go back to glory. And
go back to K1 kickboxing.
I don't know. Like, I'm not sure what's Dana's mindset with Alistair. Like, I could just see them being like, "Oh, we're gonna give you Mark Hunt. You should win, but watch lose." Like, then again, I can see them putting him against a Mitrione or a Schwab. They'll give him some kind of mid-level fight just so Alistair can get his mojo back. But I don't know what's their status with Overeem, but I think if he loses again, he could very well get cut. Who knows?
Punish Mitrione for being an idiot. You just give him Alistair. Like, you said that shit on Twitter. You know what I love is when Dana White's all like, yeah, these fucking fighters, they can't post shit on Twitter. You're a fucking fighter in the UFC, and then Dana posts something stupid on Twitter. You're like, all right, Dana, way to be a hypocrite. Your fighters can't do that, but it's okay if you do it. I understand, Dana. You're the fucking boss. But really? Don't be an asshole like that, Dana. They're good kids. They're good kids and shit.
We shit on the judges. The judges rightfully so should get shit on.
Oh, yeah, the judges in MMA, like, they're terrible, man. Like, they need to really change the scoring in MMA. They honestly do. Like, I'm gonna do my research on how to get judges license, and I'm gonna become a judge, and then I'm gonna score MMA a different way. And you can join me, Alan, and then later on, me and you can be judges for every UFC event ever.
Oh, that would be incredible. Then again, man, I don't know, man. If you judge the win for Ryan Couture, it might get passed over.
That's true. But I'm telling you, Ryan Couture beat John Jones. Fuck you! Then it just punches you in the face.
Yeah, it would be pretty awesome. Like, I forgot. Oh, it was Uriah Faber on Joe Rogan's podcast. Faber was talking about how he didn't mention any names, but he was talking about to some judges, and he's like, one of the judges said some judge didn't even know what a Kimura was. Holy shit! Like, the Nevada State Commission needs to get their heads out of their ass and get some legitimate judges.
They don't know
what a Kimura is. Oh my.
I do not know what a Kimura is. So they pretty much just don't know anything about MMA. That's what I'm hearing.
And Faber said one guy didn't know what Americana was. And I don't think Faber will make this up. It's like, what's the point of making this up? The fact that to this extent, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, no, I agree because there's been some boxing. There's been some times where some boxing judges, like boxers, will say like, yeah, the judges don't even know what you score around. If there's a knockdown, they kind of get confused on that stuff, or if there's two knockdowns. So there's been screwing judging in boxing too. It's not just MMA; it's also boxing. But yeah, Faber's telling the truth probably. But yes, Travis Brownie, you're on the right track. Maybe you and Stipe will meet up because Dana White likes to fuck up young contenders and have them fight each other. So
maybe Verdum, I got a feeling maybe he'll match up with Verdum, but I don't know. I wouldn't like that. So if Brown wins, then Brown's gonna get a title shot, and I don't know. I don't believe him as a title contender yet, but who knows?
Don't be scared, homie.
Don't be scared.
Just give me the title shot, dude.
What do you think's the future for Shogun, man? Because once again, he just.
Did you hear what his little brother put out?
Oh, that Shogun's hanging around the wrong people.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold up a second. Is Shogun a 15-year-old teenager? Oh wait, no, he's 31 and he's an adult. Like, come on.
That's what I was saying.
He's himself.
He's like, he's been hanging around the wrong people, dude. Like, I didn't know what is Shogun in the meth business? Is he hanging out with Walter White or something in Breaking Bad? Like, seriously, like, what's Shogun doing? Shogun. Just go.
I don't know how to rate him because he just the whole fight just chill was all over. It's just like, did he come in good shape? I'm not sure, but I gotta give props to you, Chase, because I remember when we were previewing this, you were talking about everyone's talking about Shogun's ground game is so great, but then you were like, oh no, it's bullshit. Yeah, man, you're right.
It is like just because you are from Brazil and you trained, this is probably what Shogun does for jiu-jitsu training. Now, obviously, I've never been in Shogun's camp, but this is what he does. That he has his buddy, a friend. He just puts him in arm bars. They don't go through transitions. They just do the moves. And if they happen to get it during the fight, they will do it. They don't train their off their back. They're just like, nah. Like only some like Nogueira's, Anderson, a bunch of other people. The true jiu-jitsu. That's why when Kane is starting to beat JDS on his back, and people are like, JDS throw a triangle. JDS is not going to throw a triangle because he has only done a triangle when his jiu-jitsu trainer said, all right, let's lock up the triangle when his ass is not getting beat, okay? He doesn't know how to do it. Shogun does not know jiu-jitsu. Well, he probably does.
They're different levels.
Yeah, it's different levels. Like, he has jiu-jitsu, but he can't pull it off in a fight. Like, I know jiu-jitsu. I could probably say, Al, let me put you in an armbar, and I'll know how to do it. But if Alan's beating my ass, I'm not gonna know how the fuck to like switch his body around and do all that crap. No, that's impossible for me because I never learned that. So Shogun, he has jiu-jitsu, he just doesn't know how to use it in a fight.
So Chael Vanderland, it looks like.
Oh well, apparently Vlandi can't do the fight, right? He said he doesn't want to fight him or something.
I don't know. It's gotta happen, right?
But you know what I'm happy about? I actually found out that Chael became the underdog the day of the fight, and I bet money on Chael. So thank you, Mr. Sonnen. You gave me $180, sir.
Nice. Yeah, he looked great, man. Chael just looked ready to go, and he did what he always says he's gonna do. He's gonna grapple you, wrestle you, and then he's gonna go for that sub. And yeah, it's always impressive when you know what a fighter's going to do, and he still manages to do it. And he did it. I don't want to say easily, but he did it pretty handily.
Yeah, he looked great that fight. That was probably Chael's best performance since I want to say Brian Stan.
Yeah, say Brian Stan because to me the Bisping fight was very very close.
Yeah, and I don't know, his best performance of all time is still when he took on Anderson Silva for 5 full rounds, but he still had a great performance tonight. So I can't really or that night. So I can't really bounce Chael. Where was Chael at SummerSlam? He said he was going to go to SummerSlam. I didn't see Chael.
I don't know, man. Maybe Brock Lesnar beat him up.
No, okay. I was just wondering because Chael said he was going to SummerSlam, and I was kind of excited to see the American Gangster there.
Did you met me, man? Jesus.
Yeah, but I'm glad CM Punk is CM Punk sitting next to Chael.
What happened?
Is Chael working the Fox Sports booth? Is he working the Fox Sports crap there?
I haven't really put it on, but I would assume so. He's like a regular there.
All right, so maybe we'll get CM Punk on the booth after the show.
That would be pretty crazy. I remember saying he was a huge Condon fan, so I hope so. Anyway, you want to preview just a couple of the big fights. We don't have to make predictions, just to talk about it a little bit. Our opinions on some of the bigger fights coming up that aren't pay-per-view. Because obviously we're going to talk about the pay-per-view fights eventually. But you want to talk about some of the fight night fights?
Yeah, like Teixeira versus Bader.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Ryan Bader in the main event, but it's fight night.
It's a fight night, so yeah. It's like when Vladimir Shenko was facing John Young in the main event.
Dude, don't hate on the janitor.
I'm not. I used to be a janitor. I respect janitors.
That's the greatest nickname of all time.
The janitor.
But yeah, I just think that this fight's just to I guess showcase Glover. Although I kind of wanted to see Glover fight Rashad. I think that would have been a cool fight. But to me, I guess they just want to make this fight happen and. Hopefully Glover impresses and he'll be the next guy to challenge Jones, I guess.
Yeah, because they need someone that can challenge Johnny Bones Jones, like someone like that's a huge threat to him. And I feel they look at Glover and they say, this guy has all the intangibles because, let's face it, Bader's a good fighter. And now, is this an easy fight for Glover? No, it's not an easy fight. But if Glover knocks the fuck out of Bader, and we've seen Bader's chin, it's not really the toughest chin. I mean... So, in all honesty, Bader, they want this fight so Glover's look good, can make a video package on him, be like, he is undefeated for this many years, and then facing off against the youngest UFC light heavyweight champion of all time. And it's just like they have all this resume, and this is going to be the fight where, I don't know, maybe Jones is not facing this fight. Maybe Tito Ortiz will interfere during the main fight between Gustafsson and Jones, so that way Jones can break his record.
I just think, man, just looking at Glover's submission because I think Glover.
Oh, he's a great crap. He's one of the few Brazilians that know how to use their submissions during a fight.
Exactly. And just remembering his guillotine choke on Tahuda, and then just thinking, forgetting what Tito did to Bader with the guillotine choke. I just think Glover has a match everywhere. I think the only way Bader wins is if he makes it into like a ugly wrestling match and he tries to ground out to share. But it's the issue with the wrestlers, man. It's like it's 5 rounds now. It's like eventually, especially with these guys that have such knockout power, like that's what I said about Conor. It's like if you put these guys with knockout power in 5-round fights, it just gives them more of an opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. And Glover, like, he could be losing rounds 1 through 3. And then all of a sudden, he gets that one opportunity. Bader's corner's like, all right, lay up on the takedowns. Don't try him up. He knows it's coming. Feint, and tells them to feint and, strike near the end of the round. Bader could be doing, what his coach has said, but Glover has so much knockout power, and he's not really super tired. Yeah, Bader laying on top of him will tire him out, but he's not super tired. And then Glover gets a nice lucky punch on him, and Bader loses this fight.
Very well happened, absolutely. The other fight is Yushin Okami against Jacques Souza. This fight I'm more interested in just because everyone knows Okami as the contender killer, and Jacare he's been getting a lot of buzz.
Jacare will be the next guy if Anderson Silva reclaims his belt. Jacare will say, "Fuck Black House. I'm going to fight you for the belt. I want to be the best."
Yeah, even though Anderson says he doesn't want to fight him.
Yeah. Okay. Why do you think Anderson doesn't want to fight him?
Jacare is a killer.
Exactly. Jacare and who's the other guy? Who's the other cat? He lost the other dude, but Jacare, pretty much Jacare's Strikeforce brother. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Do you remember him? He's the light heavyweight. He's the light heavyweight.
Not Gegard Mousasi.
No, not Gegard. The other dude. He's the reason. God, he went down to middleweight because King Mo knocked his ass out.
Audra Gracie?
No, not him. No, who is he? I'm trying to remember. Let me look up Strikeforce light heavyweight champions. He was good. He was good, but he lost his recent fight. And everyone's like, oh no, not him. I can't remember his name. He had a cool nickname too. List of Strikeforce champions, no longer around. Heavyweights. Oh yeah, Rafael Cavante.
Oh, he just got knocked out by I think Thiago Silva.
Yeah, him. What's his nickname again? He has a cool nickname like Feijao.
Feijao, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, Feijao, like Jacare and Feijao. Those two are like little Strikeforce brothers and shit. They're like Strikeforce homies. Like Feijao's another good fighter if he went down to middleweight.
Yeah, he should. I don't know because I know Thiago Silva is dangerous, but when you lose to Thiago Silva, it's not really going your stock.
Yeah, exactly. Because who knows? Maybe Thiago Silva was once again juicy.
That fight happened in June. I think they would have caught him by now.
That's true. But yeah, because but Jacare, this guy is a fucking beast. I love Jacare. I love watching him fight. I don't know why UFC took forever to sign this dude. He's good. But, Yushin Okami, like you said, he's the contender killer. So he might end this contendership reign. This one's in Brazil, right? This is the Brazil fight card?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why Jacare is fighting.
Well, who could forget the last time Okami was in Brazil? He got embarrassed by Anderson. So
yeah.
That fight was crazy. But it's just, Okami just so big. And, we watched this fight. He just totally squashed Belcher. Then he tossed Lombard around like nothing. I know Jacare is much more talented and bigger than both those guys, but it's just scary to see what Okami could do to these guys.
Exactly. No, because Okami's a fast dude. He's fast, he's strong, but also we can't forget Okami. He tends to get overconfident. Remember that one fight against Tim Bosch?
Tim Bosch?
Yeah, against Tim Bosch. He got overconfident. Tim Bosch knocked the living shit out of him. So he can get overconfident, Okami. He'll feel like, oh, I'm winning this fight, and all of a sudden he just gets knocked the fuck out. So it's not all set in stone for Okami, but he might actually win this fight. I'll give Okami a chance to win against a great fighter.
Absolutely. I think it was much more competitive than Glover Bader, but just a feght fights. I know not many people are excited for this. We made some jokes about this, but Damian Maia, Jake Shields.
Oh
Not sure why
god.
this is the headliner,
Oh
but
god. What is Dana trying to fucking get themselves off Fox Sports? Is he saying, put us back on Fox, motherfuckers? What is
yeah,
this?
I don't know about this one.
This whole card sucks.
What happened?
This whole card, besides like Eric Silva versus Don Hun Kim, Ronnie Jameson versus Jeremy Stevens,
Well,
Thiago.
Thiago Silva versus Matt Hamill. Maybe Thiago will, go for the kill. Hey, Fabio Maldonado versus Joey Beltran. We'll see some sloppy striking, but by God, it's gonna be a war.
Yeah, but that's gonna be on the undercard, you would think. Wait, is this in Brazil also?
Yeah, this is in Brazil also.
Oh my goodness! Fuck off, Dana. Bring a card somewhere else. Shit.
No, he goes. Hey, then again, I'm happy they're not wasting this in my town, all right? And I think you'd be happy not wasting this, in your town, right?
No, because I could probably get free tickets from Jake Shields and Team Caesar Gracie Jiu Jitsu.
Oh, there we go.
I would be like,
I like Eric Silva. I want to see what Eric Silva can do. And, Diane Kidd, he's never really going to be a contender, but he's kind of
is he like the whipping boy? Is he just like, go out there and fight, fucker? We don't give a shit. Go out and fight. Is that what he is, pretty much?
I think once Condit knocked him out, when he got destroyed by Condit with that flying knee.
No, I feel like the end of Don Hun Kim's contender career is when Damian Maia took him down and he separated his rib.
That was also kind of awkward. And he's just there at this point. He's not really a top 10 guy. And
so
Eric Silva, I think he has a lot of potential.
So are they replacing Jake Shields and Damian Maia's gloves just so that way this is an entertaining fight with Rock'em Sock'em robot gloves or something like those big? Remember those big giant gloves when we were kids? And they said like, you can fight. Cool. Yeah, do you think they're replacing them with those so that way at least the fight looks entertaining somewhat? And they don't have to grapple each other. They would have to actually force to strike each other.
Maybe. No, maybe you could just have a hardcore match.
Just give Jake Shields a chair.
That's an awful joke. No, but honestly, I think all the jiu-jitsu people are going to go crazy for his fight, I guess. But I don't know, because I know Damian Maia is doing very well in the welterweight division, but do people want to see him do what he did to John Fitch again? It's like...
No. Okay, Damian Maia, does he have a shot at least taking on Georges St. Pierre? Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's one of the more interesting matchups, especially if Maia gets his striking up, that GSP is going to be like, I'm not going to the ground with Damian Maia. Anderson Silva was afraid. I'm afraid. Like, you would be afraid of Damian Maia on the ground, so you would think that, like, he wouldn't want to try to take him down. Like, the only good thing is like, we're going to see some great jiu-jitsu. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's good that this is in Brazil, because Brazilians would be going, oh, look at that move. Oh, the transition. Oh, God, the Maia. Oh, the Maia. Like, what are they saying when they chant? I don't know what they're saying. All I hear is like, Jo, Zé. They're like, what the? Just say Jose Aldo.
Oh, Cigano. I know they chant Cigano. But that's in Vegas when a junior fights.
What do they do for Anderson? They go, ho, Anderson. Ho, Anderson. I'm like, what are you? Like,
we should learn that now. All chants for Brazilian fighters when they fight.
that should be a book that comes out. But yeah, I just don't know. Like, this is like a Fox. Unless Jake Shields and Damian Maia say fuck grappling, strike all day, it'll be hilarious.
Just crazy, man. Jake Shields is somehow put in the main event after beating Woodley. And I remember one time Jake Shields actually punched Woodley in the face. Like, I think Woodley tweeted like he never got touched in the face. That fight was just so awful. I remember you text me, you Facebook messaged me. You're like, I didn't watch prelims. Should I watch the Shields? If I was like, dude, do not waste your time. I said at least like 8 times. They're like, I gotta watch it.
Yeah, I got to. I gotta go see the Caesar Gracie Jiu-Jitsu boys, and I don't want Jake to be mad at me if I'd said, yo, Jake, I didn't watch your fight because people said it was boring. When you're friends, I'm not good friends with them. It's not like I text Nick Diaz every day being like, hey, let's hang out. But they know who I am. They know who I am. They see me. They go, hey, Chase, how's it going? They talk about what they're up to. Gilbert's a cool guy. Gilbert's my favorite out of the guys because he's cool. And
he always seems calm. I watched that countdown show when he fought Bendo, and he just seems like such a...
Oh, dude, that was such bullshit. I was trying to get in for the countdown show, but everything was on lock. It was ridiculous. It was like Like I asked the dude that he's like he's not a bodyguard, but he trains there pretty. He's a bouncer at a bar, and he trains there. And I asked him, I'm like, "Yo, Marcus, why is the shit locked in?" He's like, "Dude, they're filming like a countdown show, so I can't get in to train." And I'm like, "Oh shit." So he's a nice guy. He's never gonna be. He just does it for bouncer purposes. He doesn't want to fight. He's afraid of fighting. He says. I'm like, "Why are you a bouncer?" He's like, "It pays the money for the bills."
Well, Nate Diaz was also on a card. They also blocked it out. Well,
Yeah, no. Anytime they do the countdowns, alpha males, guys, they kind of like because like Uriah Faber's probably somewhere else in the world of California. Alpha male guys, you can go into their gym whenever, and they're cool. I always like going to the Cesar Gracie Jiu Jitsu guys up there in Stockton. They're always hilarious. They always like to have fun with you. So,
they seem like a cool crew.
oh yeah, they're really cool. Like,
even though I think Jake Shields is one of the most boring fighters.
oh no, Jake Shields, he's boring as fuck. But that dude, any lady is like, he always has a different girl every time I go over there.
Nice.
Giving him massages and shit. Like, it's like, what are you, fucking Ryan Reynolds?
Ladies, just remember, I beat Dan Henderson. CBS didn't put me on one commercial, but I beat Dan Henderson.
It was all about. Well, what did they put the commercials for again? What fight was on there?
It was that they showed the Henderson Shields fight, but they're only showing Henderson.
Oh, okay.
And Shields beat him, and then Mayhem Miller came in, and then Diaz brothers fought Mayhem, and
that was so bad for Strikeforce.
Yeah, and that's when you know everything went downhill.
Because like when you're on the most watched network and you have a chance to show off MMA and you fuck up like that, oh god, what are you doing?
And the best is on there for Gus Johnson. Guys, this is live television.
You know what I hate the most is when Dana White, he's like, yeah, man, I don't put these fight cards on the same night as a boxing event. I'm pretty sure this Maya versus Shields fight is on a big time boxing event. I have to look at my boxing events, but he always does. Like the only boxing event he avoided was because he moved UFC. I believe he moved this UFC 165 back before. Like originally, it was supposed to be on the same weekend as Mayweather Canelo, but then he moved it back.
I can't confirm that, but I could see that.
Because like that's the only time he doesn't fuck with boxing when he knows Mayweather is fighting or Pacquiao's fighting.
Well, I can give you actually a few examples. Remember, he doesn't do the pay-per-views against boxing, but he does the Fox shows. Like I think Junior and Kane when they fought, I think Pacquiao fought
Marquez.
Yeah, I think that happened, and I remember this one because I watched it when Nate Diaz fought Jim Miller on Fox. Right after that, it was Cotto Mayweather. So I think he doesn't mind putting free shows on.
Yeah. Yeah, because that would be hard pay-per-view. That's hard to sell a pay-per-view, you know. It's like, but I can't wait. But so wait, why is it now that Anderson? So why is it that Anderson and Weidman is taking place in December and they just don't save it till the Super Bowl card?
I guess they want to do like the craziest buy rate. I'm not sure.
Because the Super Bowl card would be amazing, you would think, right? It's like the weekend before.
Yeah, and there's a very good chance I'm going to be sitting, not front row, but I'm going to have very good seats for it in the media row. So I'm very excited for that February card. But the rumor has it that, you know, Verdum would want to fight on that card. And they have Verdum face Kane or JDS. And good Lord, if that fight happens.
Oh, if you saw a heavyweight title fight, man, that's heavyweight title fights, whether it's UFC, boxing, or whatever, no matter who's fighting, it's legendary shit when you watch heavyweights fight live. That's what I gotta say.
Sure, Frankie would probably fight Cub Swanside card. So
so hopefully you can go to that event. I don't know when the fuck they're coming back to LA, but I would like to go to an event.
No, wait. Before I wrap this up, I just want to ask you, you know, you obviously live in LA. How far is, say, like, San Jose from you?
Oh, San Jose? It's like, I only visit those guys probably, like, once every month. So, like, probably, like, a 4-hour drive.
Oh, because, you know, they do a decent amount. I think they do at least once or twice in San Jose, but trying to take nothing really San Fran. Anaheim, I noticed they do a lot, right?
Yeah, Anaheim is not LA. Everyone's just like, Anaheim's LA. Well, it's not even close to LA. So.
It's really deep from you?
No, it's closer than LA. It's like, without traffic, 25 minutes.
No, you went to the Shogun Brand Vera one, right?
Yeah. I went to that one.
That was actually a pretty fun show.
Yeah,
I think all 4 fights on the main card were ended in finishes, right?
yeah, they were all fun fights to watch. The prelims were kind of like there was a couple good prelim fights. I can't remember off the top of my head because most of the time, my friend Ricky, he was just walking around everywhere, like all this other stuff. So I was just sitting there, trying to enjoy the fights. But a lot of bathroom trips, that's for sure.
Saw that crazy Molzon Varner fight, right?
Yeah, that fight was good. I think Mike Swick also fought on that card. I'm not 100% sure, but
yeah, he knocked.
he made his return to the UFCs.
How Phil Davis was on the prelim.
Yeah, there we go. Davis was on the prelims, and I remember that fight was not really too exciting.
No, it was an eye poke. Ended, I think, in a minute.
To that Prago kid. It was hilarious because you could hear that guy scream throughout the whole arena. It was hilarious. He was like, "Ah!" I'm like, "Oh shit, someone died?" I thought someone died in my row or something because there was a pregnant lady near my area. I don't know why she was at a UFC.
Pretty scary.
I don't know why she was at a UFC event, but she wanted to make her husband happy, I guess.
Your boy Dan Pam also was on that card.
She fought Leonard. No, he fought some random fucker.
Cole Miller.
Yeah.
The names weren't that great on the card, but I thought it was one of the best dog shows in terms of performances.
Yeah, I remember that card. Like, I don't remember everything, but that Shogun Berra fight, like, everyone was freaking out when Berra was actually announcing something called offense. And we were like, what? Brandon Berra?
I thought this was going to end in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, we all did. Like, Ricky's like, hey, should we start the car? Should I go down, get the car warmed up or something? And I'm like, no. He's like, oh, well, should we just, like, stay up here so that way when the fight's over we can beat traffic? I'm like, no, we're sitting in our seats, bro. He's like, oh, okay. We're just sitting there. And he's like, yeah, this fight's going to be over. And when Shogun's entrance hit, he's like, do you think if I took a piss, I would miss anything? And then I'm like, probably not. Like, we were just joking around like it was going to be over. But no, Brandon Vera, he shocked the world.
4 rounds, man.
He shocked the world with his performance. GSP was not impressed with his performance, though, from what I've heard.
Wait, man. To wrap this up, I'm not sure. We'll see. Obviously, Knife champions for the wrestling fans out there. I'm sure we'll do something for that. And
yes.
What else we got? UFC 165, which is not looking like a great card, but anytime John Jones is fighting, it's obviously you gotta watch it. So
yeah, it's a John Jones fight against a competitor very similar to him. So kind of interesting. We're never going to talk about Fight Night Maya versus Shields. Fuck that shit. 166 and 167 we'll talk about, and 168. But
yeah, man, we got to hear more Henderson Silva impressions.
Oh, Shell no respect nothing. That's all he says, really. Like, I don't know what else. Have you talked trash to Chris Weidman besides where he's like, I bring Chuck Norris to my camp. He teach me how to punch from beard. It's gonna be good.
I think after the GSP fight, I think the buzz will start picking up in terms of the actual build-up. But man, in terms of beef, man, I think obviously all attention's on Weidman Henderson, but Misha Ron's gonna take a lot. In terms of heated rivalry or beefs, that's gonna take all of those buzz.
Oh yeah,
those two girls hate each other,
and especially it's two, in my personal opinion, attractive women.
I'd say so. I take Misha or Ronda by a little bit, but not Ronda's that point.
Yeah, no, oh yeah, like I hate when people are like, "Oh, Ronda Rousey's the hottest woman ever." Man, like, obviously you have never seen Kat Zagano in your life. She's so fun. Like, if Kat Zagano came to your door, you would be like, "Hell yeah."
Mm-hmm.
But definitely,
I think Carmouche is okay to an extent.
Oh, there's Carmouche's cute. Who? Invicta has some hot ass women. Who's that one chick that model karate fighter Invicta? She's fine as hell.
Not Cyborg.
Oh no, not Cyborg. Cyborg is like that one dude who turned into a female. I forgot that name.
Fox?
Yeah.
I need to step my Invicta game up. I hear they're doing very well over there.
Oh, dude, they're awesome. Like, I ordered their IPPV and it sucks shit. So the owner, she sent everyone an email and saying, "Oh yeah, you get to watch the rest of the show for free."
Ah.
She refunded it. She refunded it and let us catch the replay for free.
Yeah, the only people I know in there is like what's it, Marcellus Conan, I think that's her name.
Yeah.
I know her. I know Pat Barry's girlfriend who 12-second armbar was pretty cool, and Pat Barry celebrated like
Pat Barry celebrates like his girlfriend's wins, just like if he won a fight.
Exactly.
It's hilarious. I love it. It's amazing. But yeah, if you guys don't know what Invicta is, go check it out. Bellator coming out with their main event, first pay-per-view, which is going to be Eddie Alvarez versus Mike Chandler. We don't talk about that one fight that should not exist right now, but it's all about Eddie Alvarez versus Mike Chandler.
Absolutely, and I think, I heard some other fight. I know King Mo's also on that card. They're really stacking it up.
Wow. So we have Dinosaur versus Dinosaur, Eddie Alvarez and Mike Chandler in the main event.
Also announced that he's not fighting on the pay-per-view, but I think he's fighting in September. Chick Congo is signed with Bellator.
Oh, the most wins in the UFC heavyweight division. Chick Congo.
Chick Congo, yeah. I don't know how they're gonna hype him up, but
wait, where's John Fitch at?
He's at a World Series with fighting.
Why?
I'm not sure. That's a good question.
No. Leonard Garcia fights at Legacy Fighting, right?
Yeah, I think he went to Legacy. I remember hearing about that.
They have some good little fighters over there at Legacy. I like what they have.
He's so reckless, though, man. Leonard Garcia, God, that guy just so reckless. When I think of Leonard Garcia, I just think of reckless punching or reckless boxing. So.
Oh yeah, dude, that guy is just so reckless on the fight.
He hits more air than Dan Henderson's last two fights.
That's true. That is true. He gasses himself out and then he manages to get himself back in. Alan, any words of wisdom for the people out there?
Well, you always go for morality, so I'll go for football fans out there. The time is almost near.
Yes.
Sundays will be amazing again.
And Saturdays. And Fridays if you're in Texas.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the Texas vibe. Oh man, definitely about that. Yeah, I always want. Is there also in Alabama too, or no? Or is it just mostly Texas?
It's Texas where high school football lives.
There you go. Oh, there you go, Texans. And Chase, you want to go out there any moral lessons?
If you guys see two people fighting ever in your life, don't be a good citizen and try to separate it. Learn from my experience that was terrible yesterday. Just film it, put it on YouTube, and get millions of views. Don't try to separate it, people, because it leads to more bad shit.
I thought they called that World Star Hip Hop.
Yeah, World Star Hip Hop. There we go. Yeah. Upload it up there. Don't try to get involved. Trust me, it doesn't turn out well.
I hate that, man. I don't like going World Star Hip Hop, but people show me things, and it's like, what's it called? It's like there's people fighting on the subway, and then there's people screaming, World Star, World Star. I'm like, you're killing the whole thing.
just let these people fight. We know you're going to upload it there, but just let these people fight. Yeah, don't get involved in their fight because it just means more bullshit for you. There's no such thing as superheroes in this world, people. Just stay in your car and get your Madden like I should have that day. So anyways, guys, that's all I got to say to y'all. Do your fantasy football if you have it. Watch your MMA tonight. Go drink your water. Say your prayer. Eat your vitamins, brother. And that's all I got to say. Peace.
Peace.